the only thing that you need to understand about Europeans and
Oh no, they found out how to boil us down to one thing only. I wonder what it could be that is so defining for us.
why they are the way that they are and why they complain so much about being super hot and having terrible heat, but then they never install AC.
I don't think Europe and the US of A will ever get along because this is the only talking point, apparently.
Is this. For hundreds and hundreds of years now, hundreds of years, the people who were scrappy, innovative problem solvers in Europe, they left. They came to America.
What?
Because it made sense to. Now, maybe not if they were super rich, like land barons or something like that, but then those sorts of people typically aren't the most innovative people anyway.
Yeah, you should know. They're in charge of your country.
People who had the agency and the drive to solve their own problems did solve their own problems, and they came to the United States.
I am so sorry to tell you this, but people are fleeing your country for countries with better systems of social care for their people. And ideally, they wouldn't have to, because your country would figure out taking care of its own people. You don't see problems, yeah? You see opportunities. That is the difference between Europe and America. You see an opportunity to squeeze money out of people. We see a problem that must be solved to improve the quality of life for everyone. Sometimes comedy is serious.
The people left in Europe can't install air conditioning units because they're the descendants of the people who couldn't figure out how to buy a boat ticket across the Atlantic.
See, this is the American solution to a problem. You think if somebody wanted to cross the Atlantic, they have to buy a ticket. Nobody could build a boat. You are crazy people.
This is not to say that many Europeans aren't lovely people.
Yeah, equally, there are some Americans capable of critical thinking and wanting better for their country and humanity.
They are, and there's more to life than agency and problem solving.
That sounds like you said there is more to life than having freedom, which is bizarre, but very American thing to say, yeah?
And every day, more are born who probably are naturally ambitious and will probably follow that ambition to end up in the United States eventually.
Look, just because you are famous for stealing some German scientists so you could build a nuclear weapons program and, go to space and really refine the type of people you have in government these days. What? There's a connection. Oh my. The American education system here is showing that you must do lots of extra reading outside of the curriculum to discover that you did not invent everything and you are not the center of the universe. Oh my goodness, shock horror.
But while they don't suffer from brain drain in the same way that many countries in the global south do,
I can't for the life of me figure out why there's any reason why anybody could possibly have a dislike of the United States of America or its global thinking patterns.
they still suffer from a kind of ambition innovation drain that has become central to their culture, their way of life, and their regulatory environment.
Oh no, we lack the American ambition to enslave ourselves to a capitalistic model so that we may chase that beautifully elusive master known as the dollar, so that we may have just one more dollar in our bank account, so that we may use our financial success to lord over other people the economic power and success that we have. Why on earth would we have other ambitions like equality amongst human beings or being able to touch a tree?
This is why you have a bunch of Europeans coming on here and being like, oh, it's just part of our culture to complain. It literally is. Problems are to be complained about, not solved.
Are you telling me that you don't like a little bit of a complaint, a little bit of a moan? Yeah, you don't like to say, the weather today is awful. Isn't this terrible? No, you haven't been like, this food is not up to scratch for me today. You've never moaned about a single thing in your life. Aren't you wonderful?
And because this is TikTok, I should probably specify, this is not a genetic argument. People create culture, and culture creates more of those people.
Oh no, but you did. Very naughty. When you said that more ambitious people would be born, they would just be born with more ambition. This is a genetic argument. So, oopsie, you made a 1930s argument. Oopsie doopsies.
And culture and people create regulations, which is half of what the issue is with Europe.
We're just hitting all of those masterful American talking points, yeah? Regulations are what's wrong with Europe. Okay.
Even if someone is scrappy enough to try and install a window unit for AC, their government will probably ban them with some stupid license mandate.
I'm so sorry for you that you think installing a AC unit in your window is scrappy. What I would consider scrappy is overthrowing an authoritarian government and replacing them with one who cares more for the people and will do things like justice and equality.
No, I don't think that they're like genetically predestined to be losers or anything like that, but culture does perpetuate itself.
I'm so sorry that we are not a scrappy nation like you with a scrappy healthcare system that makes you scrap every day just to survive, or public transportation that makes you scrap your way to work because it is not very good or efficient and it doesn't work properly, and all these other scrappy things like scrapping for human rights, or days off from work. I'm sorry we're not scrappy like you. We will take our complete lack of brain power or ability to install electrical units into our windows, and we will just go back to our trees and sunshine and Italian food. Okay? Thank you. Goodbye.